Hey, it's Lindsay, y'all. Today I am revisiting the idea that I first came to this channel with. And if you've seen the very first video I posted on this channel, I talked about the status of my transition. At that point, I was 10 months in, and I kind of reflected back on when I started and how I felt then versus how I felt at the time I was making the video. And that's been 8 months ago, which means that I am now a year and a half into hormone replacement therapy as of today, which is pretty cool. Where did a year and a half go? I don't know. 2020? Yeah. Um, so, yeah, like I said in that first video, I am going to try to periodically come back and revisit the questions that I asked myself then and and kind of see maybe how those answers have changed. My original thought was that I was going to like splice these things together, and that video got really long. So instead, I'm just going to do a fresh video here, and you know, you can. I'm going to link back to it, and you'll be able to go back and watch it. But I'm going to give kind of an uninterrupted state of the transition, if you will, in this video. So, as a reminder, I'm going to, on this side, I'm going to put up a picture of how I looked in that first video. I took this directly from a screen cap from that video. And I'm just going to leave that up here through this one, just sort of as a reminder of how far I've come. Okay, so starting with the first question, how do you describe your gender? For many months at this point, I have pretty squarely described myself as a transgender woman. I'm a woman first and foremost, but transgender is an adjective that that modifies that. So a little bit lately, I've been kind of waffling and like going back and wondering if maybe there's some gender fluidity that's kind of pulling in some like non-binary, like agender feels. Just because of some feelings I'm getting here and there, and I'm wondering if it's just like disassociation or if there's actually like gender feels to it. So I'm not declaring it yet, but I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. And when I feel those feelings, I'm trying to listen to it and see if it maybe like, you know, if there's things that I can do to lean into it or that, you know, alleviate some negative feelings. My dog just walked in. Hi, Ellie. I'm making a video, honey. So, yeah, the next time I do one of these, I guess probably in 6 months, let's see where I'm feeling, how I'm feeling. Let's see where I'm at. Next question. What is your current HRT regimen? So I am, I think probably still pretty much what I was doing before, which is I am doing injectable estradiol valerate. I'm doing 0.175 milliliters of a concentration of 20 milligrams per milliliter. And that has been working really well. Actually just got some labs back a few minutes ago. My trough levels are like 490-ish PG/ml, or however you say that. PG/ml. Which is, I think, a little high by some standards, but I keep the dose a little bit higher because I feel a little bit better at that level. And it does a really good job suppressing my testosterone without an anti-androgen. So that's good. And my testosterone was 21 of whatever the units are for that that we use in the US. I forget what it's called. But whatever it is, it was 21, which is totally reasonable, I think. So feeling good about that. I'm also still taking progesterone. Currently, I take 200 milligrams every night before bed. You get better absorption if you take it rectally. And so I still do that most of the time, but I do also sometimes just don't feel like messing with that because that's kind of obnoxious to do. So sometimes I'll just swallow it instead. And so some of it gets metabolized differently, but I'm still getting the progesterone in there, just maybe not in the exact same way, in the exact same concentration. But yeah, I've been doing that consistently every day. Next question. What is your stance on transgender surgeries? Well, I have a consultation in a few weeks with a surgeon. So that doesn't mean that I have decided that I'm getting surgery of any kind. But I feel like I owe it to myself to at least have that conversation with the surgeon. So I made an appointment, and I probably should have done that even when I made the last video, but I just had a lot that I needed to work through personally. And I'm at the point where I can have that conversation. But like I said, I still don't know what I want. If I want, I feel like at the very least, the berries need to go. I think just for the sake of comfort and, comfort in clothing, comfort with my body, getting rid of the little tea factories so they don't turn on me. All of that, I think, are good reasons why I need to do that. As a minimum for me. Not that it's a minimum for everybody, but for me, I feel like I probably need to do that. But I've also been thinking a lot about bottom surgery, and maybe going for something like zero depth. I'm still really, really hesitant about full depth because I don't feel super confident in myself and my willingness to commit to dilation to maintain the depth of the canal. So zero depth does seem pretty compelling. And again, it kind of comes back to, it's a comfort thing, but like also, and I'll talk more about this a little bit later, but also like a sex thing too. Like, this is not, trans people don't just get bottom surgery because it's a kink and it's all sexual in nature. Like, it's to feel right. But part of feeling right is also, I want to feel right in the right clothes, but I also want to feel right in the bedroom with a partner. And I don't know that I can do that with the parts that I have. And I find myself more and more frustrated with the parts that I have. So yeah, surgery's definitely a distinct possibility coming up. Next question. How has your style changed? Well, let's see. I have purple hair, although it's starting to fade out from where I've been washing it, but I'm a little nervous it's not going to fade out completely before my next hair appointment when I need to get highlights done again. So I might have to double up on my washings to try to get that out of there. But, I'm exploring different things like that, which I think is definitely a very, it's a little bit queer coded, doing funky hair colors. It's not to say you have to be queer to have fun colored hair, but I think it is one of those things that, when combined with other things, does sort of help to set you apart and to say, hey, I'm part of this community. Still loving, fun earrings and necklaces, and I've gotten a few more since then, since the last video. Bracelets, still playing around with those. I just got new glasses literally yesterday, so these are fun, and I think they're a lot more a lot more feminine style than what I had before, which was technically a unisex frame. So these are definitely women's glasses, and I think they look really good. I think they really frame my face well, and you know, kind of going with the clear frames was something that some folks on a Discord server that I'm on recommended, and I think it was a really solid recommendation. Other things with style, I'm regularly going out in public in dresses now, and that's been amazing. Like, I am right now wearing my favorite dress, and it makes me feel really happy wearing this. I went out to lunch with a friend today for the first time in over a year because of COVID, but I'm fully vaccinated at this point. Fun fact, wore dresses to my vaccination appointments, both of them. And yeah, so I went out for lunch today and was just hanging out. I'm wearing this dress and some leggings because it was a little cool. And I'm feeling really good in my style. I've got like 20 to a couple dozen dresses at this point. I've got a lot of tops that I've added to my wardrobe, feminine tops. But I've still got my t-shirt collection, and I still wear those regularly, but not as frequently as I used to. I've definitely been changing it up. So I'm looking forward to the summer and warmer weather and getting some of the other dresses that I've got that I kind of bought in an end of summer sale, and wearing some of those out this summer. I'm excited about that. Let's see. Next question. How has your personality changed? I think I'm a little bubblier. I think I'm more outgoing. I think I'm more confident. I think certainly in the way that I do these videos, I'm more confident than I was in that first one. And I think some of that is being more confident in myself and my identity, and who I am as a woman. I think there's a big part of it. So I definitely feel a lot of that, the confidence, the bubbliness, the outgoingness, kind of flirty. I'm a little bit of a flirt, not gonna lie. And I've got this community that I'm in that I'm definitely a little flirty in. But yeah, I think, I'm still embracing that sweet, supportive, nurturing part of me that has always been there, but hasn't always been allowed to thrive. And I think people see it, and I think people appreciate it, and I think I don't know, I think it's really cool, and people like that. I don't do it because people like it. I do it because it's me. It's who I am. But I'm glad people like it, because that's me, and that's the real me. So it's nice to be liked for that. What are your relationships like with partners, family, and friends? Well, my divorce was finalized a couple of months ago, finally. And my ex-wife and I have no real relationship to speak of. We have Gizmo, and we exchange him every weekend. And sometimes those exchanges go without any words to each other. We just talk to the dog and hand off the leash, and that's it. And that's fine. I made my peace with that. After the way the divorce went, I just don't know that it can go any other way. And I'd be really surprised if that changes. But we'll see. Maybe that'll be different in 6 months. Family, well, still haven't heard anything from my brother or my sister-in-law or my niece and my nephew, who, as far as I understand it, those kids still don't know that I'm trans. Maybe they do now, but I don't know. Um, Ever since, if you saw my Christmas video, you know that things have not been great with my parents. Got misgendered a lot at Christmas because I finally went and saw them. So things are kind of cooled down between us. And so I don't talk to them very often. I haven't talked to my dad since Christmas, except that I sent him a text message on his birthday, and I really honestly debated on that. Um, but I talk to mom sometimes, but she's my mom, and she does the things that she does that drive me crazy. And I'm not sure where we're gonna go from here. It's not in a good place right now, though. Friends are amazing. I have even more friends. And I actually I have the ability to see my real life friends in real life again, which is awesome. I really have some of the best, most supportive friends. Um, yeah, like being able to see them has been amazing. The ones that I have been seeing, and getting to see my friend today at lunch and giving him a big hug. I used to give this guy a hug like every day because we work together, and I would hug him every day because he's my buddy. And so I got to give him a hug again today for the first time in over a year, and it was awesome. So I love my friends. I don't know where I would be without them. I would be very much more lonely than I actually am. Um, I'm still on the dating app, still looking, but just haven't really, not having much luck there. And maybe that'll change with in person and being able to see people again. Not that I've ever been good at going out and meeting people, so I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know how that goes. Next question. How has transition affected your sexuality? Well, I'm really kind of leaning into a lesbian identity. So I am still totally into women, obviously. Still not feeling any attraction to men. So I feel pretty good about that, honestly, because, I have my issues with men to some extent. As a whole, men as individuals are delightful, and I love them. Men as a greater grouping, they got issues. So like I said, I'm leaning into the lesbian identity. I joined a Discord server for lesbians who kind of came out later in life, and it's very trans inclusive, which is awesome because I don't have the same experience as some of them, and that I didn't have relationships with men and then realize actually I was into women. I'm a lesbian by default because my gender is actually female, and and so I'm a lesbian. But that's been really great. I met a lot of really wonderful people there. They got me. Some of them got me turned on to lesbian TikTok and some lesbian YouTubers, and that has been really awesome. So really trying to feel that connection, and I think it comes back to some of that, kind of trying to step into my queer identity. Um, like I'm not trying to hide who I am. I'm not trying to hide myself. I'm coming out of quarantine, and I want to be seen, and I want people to know me, and I want to know who I am in that. Um, so I'm exploring that, and I think that's awesome. I think it's really cool. So, um, we'll see how that continues to evolve. I guess that goes beyond my sexuality a little bit, but I think it's an important part of it. Is it's understanding that sexuality and how it affects who I am as a person. Next question. What do you still feel like you need to do to transition? Well, not a lot, honestly. My hair is at a place that I'm really happy. I didn't mention this on the style, but I really feel like I've been getting a good grip on how I like to style it. which is not terribly dissimilar to this, kind of embracing the curls and the waves and doing stuff with that. Um, I feel like my style overall is in a good place. I'm continuing to explore that, but I don't think that that's so much transition related as just me exploring who I am as a person, which I think is different. You know, I had previously sort of stepped into my femininity and now I'm exploring that further, but it's not a transition task. It's just a personal growth and discovery, if that makes sense. Um, so really, I think the last things that I kind of need to figure out is if I want to do any kind of surgeries. I already talked about bottom surgery. Um, I still don't think I need FFS, facial feminization surgery. I really want to lose some weight, but I am worried that my Adam's apple might start showing more, and I might consider a trach shave. Um, I'm really kind of ruling out breast augmentation at this point because I feel really good with the growth that I have, honestly. And I'm still growing, and I will probably continue to grow. But like, this is not padding. Like, it's a push-up bra, but everything that's in the bra is all 100% natural, baby. Um, so I feel really good about that. So I don't think breast augmentation is something I'm ever going to want to pursue. Um, Probably. So, and then beyond that, what other surgeries are there? I mean, I could do like something with hair, or Brazilian butt lift, or like I saw a video today. Somebody was talking about hip augmentations, and I don't know. Not so much a transition related thing is like I'm kind of not happy with my gut, my stomach. Um, so I don't know. Like I really need to lose weight, and as I do that, I'll definitely keep in mind if I feel like I need to do something like lipo and a tummy tuck or something like that. I'm not ruling it out, but again, it's not so much a transition thing. It's just me living my life and wanting to be as happy in my body as possible. Um, like I don't know. I don't feel like I can say that I'm like post transition or like that I have transitioned, but I'm living my life as the woman that I am supposed to be. My name has changed. My gender marker has changed. Um, I bought a swimsuit that I'm hoping I can wear this summer, and I think that's a big step. Um, so yeah, I don't really know. I think something that I think I need to do is to be in a relationship as a woman. But to some extent, that's out of my control. I have to find a partner for that, and that's easier said than done. But I think it's things like that, like having experiences of firsts as a woman. Um, because like technically I was a woman and I was married, and technically I was a woman in all of my previous relationships. I just didn't know it yet. But like knowing that I'm a woman, knowing that I'm with someone who sees me as a woman, who loves me as the woman that I am, um, that I feel like that'll be sort of a transition milestone in a sense. Um, yeah. So the last question: how do you feel overall about your transition so far? I feel pretty fan fucking tastic, to be quite honest. I think I look great. Um, I think my voice sounds a lot better. I still get misgendered on the phone, but in person, I'm not getting misgendered. Even with this voice, it's when people can see me and they hear the voice, it's enough to like override like any interpretation of male. Um, so yeah, I feel really good about my transition. Um, like I said, I don't know that I have a lot that I need to do still, but I feel really good about the things that I've done. I feel really good about myself and my identity, and I think that probably came through in some of those other answers a lot. But I feel really good, and I feel like people are seeing me as me. I've had some moments of doubt here and there, and I've had a few people tell me, like, it was really. One person told me that she thought she found it to be surprisingly easy to switch the way that she sees me in her mind. Um, and I had another friend who I've known for like 8 years who told me that, like, it's hard for him to even remember seeing me as anything else but the woman you see before you, which is pretty cool. I mean, I feel like some of that comes through as like the parts of my personality that came through, like the important parts, like people recognize that and they see those sort of core essential parts coming through. It's just in this new context, those things are interpreted a little bit differently and a little more rightly for who I am. Um, so I've been really, really happy with my transition. I don't think I can emphasize that enough. It is like I've had things not go great in my life since I started this journey. And this is the thing that I kind of keep coming back to as sort of that anchor of, this is the best thing in my life. This is the best thing I've ever done for myself in my life. Um, it still feels just so right and just affirming. So, no regrets. Absolutely none. It makes me euphoric. All right, so that's my questions. I've been rambling for a little bit. I'm gonna see how long this is. I gotta go in and do some editing and overlay my little text thingies and all of that. But yeah, so I hope you appreciated this update. I will hopefully do another one of these in another 6 months, and then maybe I might start spacing them out like every year. But in 6 months, I'll be at the 2 year mark, which should be really exciting, I think. I think these next 6 months are supposed to be pretty exciting, and I've had people tell me that like the 18-month to the 24-month mark is, there's a lot that happens that's really good in there, and I've felt really good about everything that I've had so far. So, holy shit, let's get more good stuff. Hell yeah! So, I'm excited to keep going, and living my life for as many years as I have left. Um, Living them the best I can. So, anyway, that's it for now. Um, as always, love and hugs, guys.